Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh kepada Prof. Zafrullah dan juga rakan-rakan. Hari ini, grup kami akan membentangkan tugasan yang menyentuh topik Animism, Hinduism dan Buddha sebelum kedatangan Islam di Asia. Animism merupakan suatu kepercayaan yang mempercayai benda bernyawa dan tidak bernyawa mempunyai roh dan intipati seperti pokok, gunung ganang, haiwan dan fenomena semula jadi. Konsep animism ini mula muncul pada tahun 1871 oleh Sir Edward Bernard Tyler. Animism adalah ciri utama dalam banyak agama purba, terutamanya budaya suku asli. Animism adalah elemen asas dalam pembangunan kerohanian manusia purba dan ia boleh dikenal pasti dalam bentuk yang berbeza di seluruh agama dunia moden. Animism ialah etnik agama tanpa asal-usul atau perapian tertentu. Adalah dipercayai bahawa animism mula muncul serentak di seluruh dunia. Pada akhir abad ke-19, Sir Edward Bernard Tyler adalah orang pertama yang meninjau kepercayaan animism. Animism berasal daripada perkataan Latin, anima yang bermaksud nafas, roh, jiwa atau kehidupan. Animism adalah lebih kepada kepercayaan kepada roh dan kehadiran roh dalam objek daripada satu kepercayaan atau doktrin. Animism ialah ciri utama amalan kerohanian kuno dan moden, tetapi ia tidak boleh diberikan takrifan modennya sehingga lewat 18,000. Ahli sejarah percaya bahawa animism adalah asas kepada kerohanian manusia sejak zaman Paleolitik dan hominid yang wujud pada masa itu. Dari segi sejarah, percubaan telah dibuat untuk mentakrifkan pengalaman rohani manusia oleh ahli falsafah dan pemimpin agama. Sekitar tahun 400 BC, Pythagoras membincangkan hubungan dan kesatuan antara jiwa individu dan jiwa ketuhanan yang menunjukkan kepercayaan pada jiwa manusia dan objek yang menyeluruh. Dia dianggap telah meningkatkan kepercayaan ini semasa belajar dengan orang Mesir kuno yang menghormati kehidupan di alam semula jadi dan personifikasi kematian menunjukkan kepercayaan animism yang kuat. Ciri-ciri umum animism adalah kewujudan jiwa atau roh. Asas pemikiran animistik ialah penegasan kewujudan beberapa jenis entiti metafizik seperti jiwa atau roh yang dilihat sebagai sumber kehidupan atau daya hidup manusia, haiwan, tumbuhan dan juga bukan hidup. Objek dan fenomena. Bagi budaya animism, kewujudan entiti ini dengan kualiti operasi dan kehendak masing-masing memberikan penjelasan untuk perubahan yang tidak terhitung yang disaksikan dalam kedua-dua dunia semula jadi dan dunia manusia. Dalam pemikiran animism, roh atau jiwa manusia sering dikenal pasti dengan bayang-bayang atau nafas. Pengenalan antara jiwa dan bayang ini boleh dilihat di Tasmania, Amerika Utara dan Selatan serta Eropah klasik. Begitu juga Basutus Lesotho berpendapat bahawa seorang lelaki yang berjalan di tepi sungai mungkin kehilangan nyawanya jika bayang jatuh ke atas air kerana seekor buaya boleh merebut jiwanya dan menariknya ke arus. Contohnya, seni stensil di Carnarvon Gorge, Tasmania yang mungkin peringatan, tanda atau rayuan kepada nenek moyang totemik atau rekod penceritaan. Elemen atau simbol bumerang dalam bentuk daun digunakan untuk memburu. Orang asli boleh melemparkannya dengan sangat tepat untuk mengalahkan mangsa seperti unggas air. Bilah-bilah itu rata dan tidak mempunyai sentuhan bumerang yang kembali, menunjukkan bahawa ini bukan bumerang yang kembali. Bumerang berbentuk V mungkin digunakan dalam pergaduhan suku kaum. Mereka boleh dilemparkan sidearm, meluncur tepat di atas tanah dan dengan mudah akan mematahkan kaki lawan. Dengan cara yang sama, mereka digunakan untuk menurunkan kanguru. Bersama-sama dengan banyak tangan stensil, bahagian panel ini menampilkan beberapa kulaman berstensil. Terdapat dua lajur menegak chevron yang kelihatan seperti dicat secara langsung dan tiga haiwan dalam auger putih, mungkin seekor kidney di sebelah kiri dan dua guana. Jaring merah dicipta dengan meniup ochre di antara dua jari yang dipisahkan dan tidak kelihatan dalam gambar. Jaring dibina dalam corak simetri yang luar biasa, segitiga kecil dengan segitiga kecil-kecil. Selain itu, jiwa atau roh di alam semula jadi. Haiwan dihormati dan disembah dalam banyak budaya animism sebagai ahli keluarga. Roh nenek moyang hidup dalam haiwan dalam beberapa kes. Dalam kepercayaan animism awal, haiwan mungkin mempunyai jiwa. Mereka mungkin dikaitkan dengan kuasa yang lebih besar, kelicikan atau kebolehan ajaib jika animis memilihnya. Oleh itu, beberapa haiwan mempunyai roh yang berasingan daripada badan mereka, sama seperti yang dikaitkan dengan manusia diperkukuhkan. Pokok dan tumbuh-tumbuhan sering dikaitkan dengan jiwa, manusia dan haiwan dalam bentuk sama seperti haiwan. Penduduk pertanian di seluruh dunia melakukan upacara animism yang rumit. Ia kadang-kala dilihat sebagai roh tanaman dan pada masa lain sebagai dewa pengetua di Eropah zaman pertengahan. Semangat ini juga dianggap sebagai seekor lembu, arnab atau ayam jantan di beberapa kawasan dan lelaki atau perempuan tua di kawasan lain. Sesetengah budaya tidak membezakan antara benda hidup dan benda mati. Ini termasuk fenomena semula jadi, ciri geografi, objek harian dan barangan perkilangan. Roh air atau sungai berbentuk seperti kuda atau lembu jantan di utara Eropah, Greece dan China. Sebagai ular, raksasa air mewakili semangat air. Juga dalam bidang animism, ini adalah semangat syncretism yang memanifestasikan dirinya mengubah semangat yang wujud dalam kuasa semula jadi menjadi jin atau tuhan tempatan yang timbul kemudian. Contohnya, totem pole di Saxman Totem Park. Proud Raven Totem Pole bahagian Raven pertama kali diukir pada tahun 1880-an. Diukir semula pada tahun 1940 sebagai sebahagian daripada projek Taman Totem Saxman, Alaska. Tiang totem ini telah lama dikenali sebagai kutub Lincoln kerana rupa Abraham Lincoln di bahagian atas. Bagaimanapun, menurut kebanyakan orang tua Tlingit, ia adalah gambaran lelaki kulit putih pertama yang dilihat di wilayah Tlingit pada abad ke-18. Seabad kemudian, pada tahun 1880-an, terdapat seorang lelaki dari Puak Raven dari Tonga Tlingit menugaskan tiang itu untuk memperingati kebanggaan moyangnya kerana telah melihat lelaki kulit putih pertama ini yang telah menjadi lambang puak ini menggunakan gambar daripada Abraham Lincoln sebagai model untuk lelaki putih generik. Ia penting bukan sahaja untuk pelbagai bacaan puncak ini tetapi juga kerana ia mendakwa wilayah ini sebelum orang kulit putih pertama datang ke pantai mereka. Wilayah yang lelaki Tlingit ini yang sedang mengukir semula tiang pada tahun 1940-an cuba untuk menegaskan kepada kerajaan Amerika Syarikat sebagai tanah berdaulat mereka. Seterusnya, animism sebagai satu agama. Animism banyak membina shrine untuk tujuan keagamaan mereka. Sebagai contohnya, Shintoism. Shinto atau dalam bahasa Jepunnya Shin ialah agama Jepun. Para sarjana agama mentakrifannya sebagai agama Asia Timur, namun penyokongnya menganggapnya sebagai agama semula jadi. Ulama memanggil mereka Shintoist walaupun penganut jarang menggunakan istilah itu. Shinto tidak mempunyai kuasa berpusat dan pelbagai pengamal. Shinto adalah agama politeistik yang berpusat pada entiti ketuhanan yang dipanggil kami. Shinto ialah animistik kerana pertalian kami dengan alam semula jadi. Kami disembah di Kamidana, keluarga dan juga kuil awam jinja. Ini diawasi oleh Imam Kanushi yang memantau persembahan makanan dan minuman kepada kami yang termaktub di sana. Ini dilakukan untuk menggalakkan keharmonian manusia, kami dan mendapat keberkatan mereka. Shinto mempunyai kira-kira 100,000 kuil awam di Jepun, walaupun pengamalnya terletak di seluruh dunia. Dari segi bilangan, ia mengatasi agama Buddha di Jepun. Majoriti penduduk di negara ini menghadiri acara Shinto dan Buddha, terutamanya perayaan, menunjukkan kepercayaan budaya Jepun yang sama bahawa teori dan amalan kepercayaan tidak perlu eksklusif. Sebilangan pergerakan agama baru Jepun menggabungkan pengaruh Shinto. Itu shrine atau tempat Tuhan ialah struktur yang tujuan utamanya adalah untuk menempatkan dan memelihara satu atau lebih kami. Bangunan terpentingnya digunakan untuk menyimpan benda-benda suci dan bukan untuk beribadat. Shinto dalam masyarakat hari ini kekal kerana penting orang Jepun memahami kepentingan kepercayaan agama asli, terutamanya apabila ia adalah pegangan agama yang sihat yang menekankan ikatan kekeluargaan yang kukuh dan keamanan di seluruh masyarakat. Istilah kami sering diterjemahkan sebagai Tuhan, Tuan atau Dewa, tetapi ia juga termasuk kuasa alam lain, baik dan jahat, kerana keunggulan atau ketuhanan mereka menjadi objek penghormatan. Ciri-ciri yang terdapat pada Shinto Shrine ialah nombor 1, Tori iaitu Shinto Gate. Nombor 2 adalah Stone Stairs. Nombor 3 adalah Sando, the approach to the shrine. Nombor 4 adalah Chozuya ataupun Temizuya iaitu Fountain to cleanse one's hand and face. Nombor 5 adalah Toro, decorative stone lanterns. Nombor 6 adalah Kagura-den, building dedicated to Noh or the sacred Kagura dance. Nombor 7 adalah Shamusho, the shrine's administrative office. Nombor 8 adalah Ema, wooden plaques bearing prayers or wishes. Nombor 9 adalah Sesha or Masha, small auxiliary shrines. Nombor 10 adalah Komainu, the so-called lion dogs or the guardian of the shrine. Nombor 11 adalah Haiden, oratory. Nombor 12, Tamagaki, fence surrounding the Honden. Nombor 13 adalah Honden, manhole, enshrining the kami. On the roof of the Haiden and Honden are visible to Chigi, forked roof finials and Katsuogi, short horizontal locks, both common shrine ornamentation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Akila binti Abu Qasim. Hinduism in the Southeast Asia. According to many experts, Hinduism is the world's oldest religion with origins and rituals stretching back more than 4,000 years. Hinduism is the third largest religion in the world today after Christianity and Islam, with around 900 million adherents. India is home to around 95% of the world's Hindus. It is difficult to trace the religion's beginning and history because there is no one founder. Hinduism is unusual is that it's a collection of various traditions and concepts rather than a single religion. Hinduism beliefs embrace many religious ideas. Hinduism includes a wide range of religious beliefs. As a result, rather than a single structured religion, it is frequently referred to as a style of life or a family of religions. Most varieties of Hinduism are henotheistic, which implies that they worship a single deity known as Brahman, while acknowledging other gods and goddesses. Followers think that there are various roots to their deity. Hindus believe in the doctrines of samsara, the continuous cycle of life, death, and reincarnation, and karma, the universal law of cause and effect. The concept of Atman, or the belief in soul, is central to Hinduism. According to this belief, all living things have soul and a part of the Supreme Soul. The objective is to attain moksha, or salvation, which terminates the cycle of rebirth and allows the individual to become a part of the ultimate soul. The belief that people's action and ideas directly impact their current and future lives is a fundamental principle of religion. Food is a significant component of Hindu culture. Most people avoid eating meat or pork, and many are vegetarians. Hinduism is closely related to the other Indian religions, including Buddhism, Sikhism, and Jainism. Hindus aspire to achieve dharma, which is a rule conduct that promotes morality and good behavior. Hindus revere all living creatures and consider the cow a sacred animal. There are areas Hindu and Buddhist culture coexisted. Champa, central and southern area of Vietnam, Cambodia, Srivijaya, Yavadipa, Indonesia, Java, and possibly Malaysia and other countries, Suvarnadipa, the Golden Islands, Sri Kshetra, Burma or Myanmar, Thailand, and Laos. Chronology of early history and aspects of Hindu culture in Southeast Asia. Most scholars believe Hinduism started somewhere between 2300 before Christ and 1500 before Christ in the Indus Valley, near modern-day Pakistan. But many Hindus argue that their faith is timeless and has always existed. Unlike other religions, Hinduism has no one founder but is instead a fusion of various beliefs. Around 1500 before Christ, the Indo-Aryan people migrated to the Indus Valley and their language and culture blended with that of the indigenous people living in the region. There is some debate over who influenced who more during this time. The period when the Vedas were composed became known as the Vedic period and lasted from about 1500 before Christ to 500 before Christ. Rituals such as sacrifices and chanting were common in the Vedic period. The epic, Puranic and classic periods took place between 500 before Christ and 500 Anno Domini. Hindus began to emphasize the worship of deities, especially Vishnu, Shiva, and Devi. The concept of Dharma was introduced in new texts, and other faiths such as Buddhism and Jainism spread rapidly. There are 7 types of Hindu gods. First, Brahma, the god responsible for the creation of the world and all living things. Second, Shiva, the god that destroys the universe in order to recreate it. Third, Vishnu, the god that preserves and protects the universe. Fourth, Devi, the goddess that fights to restore Dharma. Fifth, Krishna, the god of compassion, tenderness, and love. Sixth, Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth and purity. And the last one, Saraswati, the goddess of learning. Major elements, component parts of Hindu temple. Gopurams, the monumental entrance to the temple premises. Mandapas or halls, pilot outdoor assembly hall and pavilion used for public rituals, dance and music and audience to sit. Antarala, the intermediate chamber which joins the main sanctuary and the pillared hall of the temple premises. Paradakshina Pata, ambulatory passengerway for circumambulation and comprises an enclosed corridor outside the Garbhagriha. Garbhagriha, it is part of the temple in which the idol of the god is installed. Shikhara, Shikhar or Vimana means mountain peak, which refers to the rising tower over the Garbhagriha where the deity is situated. It is the most prominent and visible part of Hindu temple. Skhara, the spire or the tower. It is shaped as pyramidal and tapering, representing the mythological Manu or the highest mountain peak. Jagati, the raised surface of the platform of terrace upon which some Buddhist or Hindu temples are built. Subsidiary shrines, located as a distinct, separate small shrine beside the main temple.
Okey, Assalamualaikum. Nama saya Nurul Izzati binti Azilan. Kita masih lagi dalam topik Hinduism, kepercayaan Hindu. Jadi saya akan sambung tentang seni bina kepercayaan Hindu. Jadi seni bina kepercayaan Hindu ini yang kita tahu yang sangat terkenal is temple, iaitu kuil. So kuil ni merupakan satu tempat ibadat untuk orang kepercayaan Hindu, which is khusus untuk kegiatan keagamaan dan juga kerohanian. Okey, pada asal usulnya sebenarnya orang kepercayaan Hindu ni dia menyembah api. Jadi dia orang tak perlukan pun temple sebenarnya pada mula-mulanya. Yang dia orang perlukan is tempat yang terbuka, tempat yang luas untuk dia orang lakukan penyembahan tersebut. Okey, jadi pada awalnya pembinaan kuil ni sebenarnya digunakan daripada tanah ataupun kayu. Jadi dua bahan tersebut tak membuatkan kuil yang mereka bina itu kukuh. Jadi mereka tukar penggunaan bahan tersebut kepada seperti bahan yang lebih dasar seperti batu-bata. Dan pembinaan kuil ini selalunya ditempatkan di tempat yang berhampiran dengan sungai, bukit bakau, tepi tasik ataupun tempat yang berhampiran dengan laut. Okey, untuk seterusnya teks, there are two types. Vastu Shastras and Shilpa Shastras are listed as one of 64 divine arts in ancient Indian texts, which is manual reka bentuk yang merangkumi seni dan sains seni bina, biasanya mencampurkan elemen bentuk berfungsi dengan simbolisme Hindu. Apa yang saya cakapkan ni ada dalam Arkarya Encyclopedia of Hindu Architects. Dia menyenaraikan ratusan manuskrip transkrip tentang seni bina Hindu yang telah lama hingga ke zaman moden. Ia juga merangkumi aspek seperti aspek seni bina seperti perhiasan, perabot, kenderaan tu macam gerabak, kereta, pintu masuk, tangki air, jalan, rumah, istana, kuil dan sebagainya. Okey, seterusnya untuk village, town and cities. Pemilihan tapak ni sangat penting. Pemilihan tapak yang terbaik dan untuk penempatan manusia adalah sangat penting, dengan mencari tanah yang tebal, yang cerun, to open skies eastward so that the residents can appreciate the sunrise. Selain itu juga berhampiran sungai atau significant water stream, and also has enough groundwater for wells. Tanah yang dipilih juga perlulah rata, rich for growing flowers, vegetable and fruit trees. Kemudian ada 5 prinsipal yang mereka kongsikan. So, yang pertama, Digninaya Principle of Orientation. Nombor 2, Padayin Yasa Site Planning. Hastalakshana Proportionate Measurement Ratios of Sections. Nombor 4, Ayadisic Canonical Principles of Architecture. Yang terakhir sekali, Patakadi Aesthetics of Character of each building or part of the overall plan. And also, the guidelines is combination principle of early Hindu understanding of science, spiritual beliefs, astrology and astronomy. Okay, move to seni bina kuil ataupun temple. Okay, seni bina kuil ni dianggap bersifat menggabungkan manusia dengan dewa-dewa dan ruang sejagat sebagai suatu tempat yang suci. Oleh itu, ciri kuil tersebut melambangkan rukun hidup penganut Hindu. Terdapat 2 jenis, iaitu North Indian dan South Indian. So, Nagala style. Nagala style ni secara ringkasnya kita boleh nampak karakter dia macam sarang lebah pada bentuk tower dia tu. And then layoutnya juga berbentuk petak, and the center shaft surrounded by smaller secondary shafts called urushringas. Okey, seterusnya Dravida style pula menampakkan karakter ataupun bentuk piramid pada tower dia, and also the repeated stories gives a horizontal visual to this style. Seterusnya Versara style, the name given to an architecture style that enveloped in Karnataka semasa abad pertengahan dan menggabungkan kedua-dua style, iaitu ada Nagara dengan Dravida style dalam Versada style tersebut. And then this style reduced the height of the individual tiles without reducing their number, resulting in a reduction in the height of the temple tower. The temples of Halebid, Belur, Somnatapura, and Patadakal are some of the example of this style. So, terdapat beberapa style yang lebih kurang dengan Versara style. Okay, next, a commonalities about temple architecture. The basic layout of temple can be visualized as mandala. So, apa benda mandala ni? Mandala is a geometric configuration of symbol. Dalam tradisi rohani, mandala boleh digunakan untuk memfokuskan perhatian pengamal dan pakar sebagai alat bimbingan rohani serta boleh mewujudkan ruang suci tersebut. So the mandala is a mystical Hindu symbol represented by a square enclosing a circle. The square denotes not just the four direction but also a perfect of form and symmetry. The mandala is subdivided into a grid of smaller squares. A mandala that forms the basic for a temple's layout is termed a vastu purusha mandala. So dalam image di atas adalah contoh vastu purusha mandala. And then the layout of the temple can be acknowledged to the human body. So next, foreign architectural style. The famous Angkor Wat of Cambodia, the largest Hindu temple in the world, is a combination of Dravida and Khmer style of architecture. And the next one, the massive Prambanan temple complex of Java, Indonesia, follows the mandala precepts of Vastu Sastra, while its soaring spires are reminiscent of the Nagara Sheikh Karas. Okay, seterusnya, art and sculpture. Okay, pada awalnya seni yang diterapkan ini hanya bertujuan untuk menumpukan ibadat umat Hindu. Contoh macam patung arca yang diletakkan juga represent tema agamanya through its depiction of dewa-dewa dan simbol yang berulang. So, tema of sculpture, kebanyakannya penganut Hindu ini mempercayai kepada satu Tuhan, Tuhan tertinggi yang muncul dalam pelbagai manifestasi yang berbeza sebagai deva, makhluk atau dewa angkasa, dan mungkin menyembah dewa tertentu. Seterusnya, depiction of deities. Dewa-dewa yang disembah biasanya disembah dan digambarkan melalui arca, termasuk Shiva the Destroyer, contoh Vishnu, dan dalam terjemahannya sebagai Rama, dan Krishna, Ganesh, dewa kemakmuran, dan pelbagai lagi dewa yang sedia ada. Untuk simbol, arca Hindu juga dicirikan oleh beberapa simbol suci yang berulang, termasuk Om, doa kesedaran ketuhanan Tuhan, swastika. Okay, next for the symbolism. Hindu sculpture is also characterized by a number of recurring holy symbols, including the Om, an invocation of the divine consciousness of God. Okay, dan juga banyak dewa, nama-nama based on the Sanskrit word for lotus, such as Lakshmi, in addition of the symbol, flower, bird, animal, instruments, symmetric mandala drawings, object and idol are all part of the symbolic iconography in Hinduism. Okay, actually apa yang menghubungkan dengan Hindu architecture? Okay, arca ni dia macam berkait rapat dengan seni bina dalam kuil Hindu yang biasanya dikhaskan kepada beberapa dewa yang berbeza. And gaya and style temple Hindu tu sendiri mencerminkan sintesis seni, cita-cita, dharma, kepercayaan, nilai dan cara hidup yang dihargai di bawah agama Hindu. Ia juga dihiasi dengan arca di seluruhnya. Kuil-kuil ini adalah rangkaian seni tiang dan dengan ukiran dan patung yang memaparkan dan meraihkan 4 prinsip penting yang perlu ada dalam kehidupan manusia di bawah agama Hindu itu sendiri. So, satu, mengejar artha, maksudnya kemakmuran, kekayaan. Mengejar kama, keseronokan ataupun seks. Mengejar dharma, kebajikan kehidupan beretika. Dan mengejar moksha, pelepasan pengetahuan diri. Okay, the last one, the architecture basically consists of a statue, kings, dancer, warriors, god. So, image di atas adalah contoh temple yang melambangkan yang consists of statue of kings, dancer, warrior, gods, and many more.
Seterusnya ialah agama Buddha. Gautama Buddha, yang lebih dikenali sebagai Buddha, ialah seorang pertapa, pemimpin agama dan guru yang tinggal di India Purba abad ke-6 sebelum Masihi sehingga ke abad ke-5 selepas Masihi. Beliau dianggap sebagai pengasas agama Buddha dan dihormati oleh penganut Buddha. Gautama Buddha dikenali sebagai orang yang menemui semula jalan purba menuju kebebasan daripada kejahilan, keinginan dan kitaran kelahiran semula dan penderitaan. Beliau mengajar selama kira-kira 45 tahun dan membina pengikut yang ramai, baik ahli agamawan dan orang awam. Agama Buddha mencapai di Asia Tenggara secara langsung melalui laut dari India dan secara tidak langsung dari Asia Tengah dan China. Peta di sebelah menunjukkan penyebaran agama Buddha dari India ke Asia Tenggara melalui jalan laut, melalui aktiviti perdagangan dan tersebar di negara-negara seperti Thailand, Burma, Vietnam dan Indonesia. Buddhist art and architecture at Southeast Asia. First is Wat Phra Chetapon at Thailand, or we call it Wat Po. Wat Po is one of Bangkok's oldest temple. It existed before Bangkok was established, and as the capital by King Rama I, it was originally named Wat Potharam or Potharam, from which the name Wat Po is derived. The name refers to the monastery of the Bodhist tree in Bodh Gaya, India, where Buddha is believed to have attained enlightenment. The date of the construction of the old temple and its founder are unknown, but it thought to have been built or expanded during the reign of King Prithviraj 1688 until 1703. The southern section of Wat Po used to be occupied by part of French Star Fort that was demolished by King Prithviraj after the 1688 siege of Bangkok. The temple complex. It is home to more than 1,000 Buddha images, as well as one of the largest single Buddha image at 46 meters in length. The Wat Po complex consists of two walled compounds visited by Chitopon Road running in the east-west direction. The largest northern walled compound, the Puta Wat, is open to visitors and contains the finest building dedicated to the Buddha, including the boat with its four directional vihan and the temple housing the reclined Buddha. The southern compound, the Sakwan, contains the residential quarters of the monk and a school. The perimeter wall of the main temple complex has 16 gates, two of which serve as entrance for the public. The temple ground contains 4 great chedis, 91 small chedis, 2 belfries, a boat, central shrine, a number of viharas, various buildings such as pavilions, as well as gardens and small temple museum. Architecture, the chedis are building in the complex are different in style and size. The number of large Chinese statues, some of which depict European, are also found in complex guarding the gate of the perimeter wall as well as other gate in compound. The stone statues were originally imported as ballast on ship trading with China. The picture below is a site plan and the layout plan. The first building is Pra Ubukso. Pra Ubukso, or boat, is the ordination hall, the main hall used for performing Buddhist rituals and the most sacred building in the complex. It was constructed by King Rama I in the Ayutthaya style and later enlarged and reconstructed in the Ratana Kongsin style by Rama III. The boat was dedicated in 1791 before the rebuilding of Wat Po was completed. This building is raised on a marble platform and the Ubuso lies in the center of courtyard, enclosed by a double cloister, Prarabyang. Inside the Ubuso is a gold and crystal tiered pedestal topped with a gilded Buddha made of a gold copper alloy, and over the statue is a 9-tiered umbrella representing the authority of the Thailand. The Buddha image known as Pra-Buddha Tiva Patimakon and thought so to be from the Ayutthaya period, was moved here by Rama I from Wat Salasina, now called Wat Kusawan, in Thonburi. Rama IV later placed some ashes of Rama I under the pedestal of Buddha image so that the public may pay homage to both Rama I and the Buddha at the same time. Second one is Prarabyang. This double cloister contains around 400 images of Buddha from northern Thailand selected out of the 1,200 originally brought by King Rama I of this Buddha image. 115 are on the inner side of the double cloister. Another 244 images are on the outer side. These Buddha figures, some standing and some seated, and are evenly mounted on the matching gilded pedestal. These images are from different periods in the Siamese history, such as the Chiang Siang Sukhothai, Yu Thong, and Ayutthaya eras, but they are renovated by Rama I and covered with stucco and gold leaf to make them look similar. Below is a Buddha image in the cloister. The cloister is intersected with 4 viharas or vihan, one on each direction. Third one is Pra-Prang, the 4 towers or Pra-Prang at each corner of the courtyard around the boat. Each of the towers is tiled with marble and contains 4 Khmer-style statues, which are the guardian divinities of the 4 cardinal points. Below is the image of Pra-Prang. Fourth is Pramaha Chedisi Rajakan. This is the ground of the 4 largest stupas, each a 42-meter height. These 4 chedis are dedicated is dedicated to the first four Chakri king. The first, in a green mosaic tile, was constructed by Rama I to house the remains of the great Buddha from Ayutthaya, which was correct to remove its gold covering by the Burmese. Two more were built by Rama III. One is white tile to hold the edge of his father Rama II, another in yellow for himself. A 40 in a blue was built by Rama IV, who then enclosed the four churches, leaving no space for more to be built. The 5 is Vihan Paranon. The Vihan of the Vihan contained the reclined Buddha and was the construct in the region of Rama III, emulating the Ayutthaya style. The interior is decorated with panel of mural. Adjacent to the building is small raised garden, Misakawan Park, with a Chinese-style pavilion. The center of piece of the garden is a Bodhi tree, which a propagate of the Jaya Sri Mahabodhi tree in Sri Lanka that is believed to have originally come from a tree in India where a Buddha sits while awaiting enlightenment. The picture below is the image of reclining Buddha and the park. Pra-modern on the whole Tri is a scripture hall containing a small library of Buddhist script. The building is not generally open to the public as the scripture, which are inscribed on palm leaf, need to be kept in a controlled environment of preservation. The library was built by King Rama III. Guarding in entrance are figures called Yak Wa Po, places in niches beside the gate. Around Pramondo are three pavilions with mural painting in the beginning of Ramayana. The image below is a rear view of library and a front view of library. The third image is the aerial view of Wat Po, and the other image is Wat Po detailing. The second building is Borobudur, Indonesia. Borobudur, also transcribed by Barabudur, is the 17th century Mahayana Buddhist temple in Magelang Regency, not far from the town of Mutillan in central Java, Indonesia. It is the world's largest Buddhist temple. The temple consists of 9 stacked platforms, 6 square and 3 circular, topped by a central dome. It is decorated with 2,372 relief panels and 504 Buddha statues. The central dome is surrounded by 70 Buddha statues, each seated inside a perforated stupa. Built in the 19th century during the reign of the Seleucid dynasty, the temple design followed the Javanese Buddhist architecture, which blend the Indonesian indigenous traditions of ancestor worship and the Buddha concept of the ultimate nirvana. The temple demonstrates the influence of Gupta art that reflect the India influence on the region, yet there are enough indigenous scenes and elements incorporated to make a Borobudur uniquely Indonesian. The monument guided pilgrims through an intensive system of stairway and a corridor with 1,460 narrative relief panels on the wall and the balustrade. Borobudur has one of the largest and most completely assembled of Buddhist relief in the world. Architecture. Borobudur is built as a single large stupa, and when viewed from above, take the form of the giant tantric Buddhist mandala, simultaneous representing the Buddhist cosmology and the nature of the mind. The original foundation is square, approximately 180 meters. One each side has the 9 platforms, of which the lower 6 are square and the upper 3 are circular. The upper platform contains 17 small stupas surrounding the one large central stupa. This is the plan of the Borobudur, and the next is design. The design of Borobudur takes from the form of step pyramid. Previously, the prehistory Austronesian megalithic culture in Indonesia are constructed several earth mound and stone state pyramid structure called Punden Berudak as discovered in Paguyangan site near Kisolok and Cipari near Kuningan. The construction of the stone pyramid is based on native belief that mountain and high place are the abode of ancestor spirit or hyang. The Punden Berudak step pyramid is the basic design in Borobudur, believed to be continuation of older megalithic tradition incorporated with Mahayana Buddhist ideas and symbolism. The monument tree division symbolize the three realms of Buddhist cosmology, namely Kamadhatu, Rupadhatu, and finally Arupadhatu. The image is the stepped pyramid in the Teotihuacan, Mexico. Next is a building structure. Approximately 55,000 cubic meters of the ancestor stone were taken from a neighboring stone quarries to build the monument. The stone was cut to size, transported to the site and laid without mortar. Note the indestation of the dovetail were used to form joints between stone. The roof of stupas, niches and arch gateway are constructed in corbellin method. Relief were created in situ after the building had been completed. The monument is equipped with a good drain system to cater to the area high stone water runoff. To prevent flooding, 1,000 spawns are installed at each corner, each with a unique carving gargoyle in the shape of giant or makara. Borobudur differed markedly from the general design of other structures built from this purpose. Instead of being built on a flat surface, Borobudur is built on a natural hill. However, construction technique is similar to the other temple in Java. Without the inner space seen in the other temple and with general design similar to the shape of pyramid, Borobudur was the first to more likely to have served as a stupa instead of temple. This is the structure of Borobudur cross-section and building ratio. There has 3 levels: Kamadhatu, Rupadhatu, and Arupadhatu. The main stupa is at the center. Next is the image is the stair of Borobudur through the arches of Kala, and the second image is a narrow corridor with a relief on the wall. Next is relief. Borobudur is constructed in such way was it reveal various levels of terrace, showing intricate architecture that goes from being heavily ornamented with bas relief to be plain in Arupadhatu circular terrace. The first floor terrace walls are showcased for bas relief sculpture. These are exquisite, considered to be the most elegant and graceful in the Asian Buddhist world.
Number 3 is Sri Dagan Pagoda in Myanmar. Introduction. The formal name of the Sri Dagan Pagoda is Sri Dagan Siddhidor, which translates as the Great Golden Mountain Stupa. The Sri Dagan Pagoda, situated on Singotara Hills in the center of Yangon, is the most sacred Buddhist stupa in Myanmar and one of the most important reliquary monuments in the world. The proposed property includes the hill atop of which the main stupa is located, the hilltop reliquary stupa and associated religion buildings and sacred statuary, bells, and other emblems situated on the hill, as well as the hills surrounding sacred perimeter. The proposed property comprises a total area of 46.3 hectares. Next, we're going through in architecture of the main stupa, built on the 51 meter, which is 167 feet high Singutara Hill. The 112 meter, which is 367 feet tall pagoda stands. 107 meter, which is 560 feet above sea level, and dominates the Yangon skyline. Yangon zoning regulation, which capped the maximum height of building to 127 meters, which is 417 feet above sea level, ensure the Shandagam prominence in the city skyline. Shandagan Pagoda is the solid stupa that is completely covered with gold. It rises 326 feet, which is 99 meters, on a hill 168 feet, which is 51 meters above the city. The perimeter of the base of the pagoda is 1,420 feet, 326 feet above the platform. The base is surrounded by 64 small pagodas with 4 largest, one in the center of each side. There also are 4 fences, one at each corner with 6 lieu-grief, 3 on each side of them, projecting beyond the base of the pagoda. One on the center of each side are tzazau, in which are images of the Buddha where offering are made. There are also figures of elephants crouching and men kneeling, and pedestal for offering all around the base. Moving on to design, the stupa plain is made of brick covered with gold plate. Above the base are terraces that only monks and other males can access. Next is the bell-shaped part of the stupa. Above that is the turban, then the inverted bowl, inverted and upright lotus petals, the banana bud, and then the umbrella crown. The crown is tipped with 5,448 diamonds and 2,317 rubies. Immediately before the diamond bud is a flag-shaped band. The very top, the diamond bud is tipped with a 76 carat, which is 15-gram diamond. The gold scene on the stupa is made of genuine gold plate, covering the brick structure and attached by traditional rebate. People all over country, as well as successive monarchs starting from Queen Shin Saopu, have donated gold to the pagoda to maintain it. There are 4 entrances, each leading up a flight of steps to the platform on Singutara Hill. A pair of giant lieu-grief guard at each entrance. The eastern and southern approach have vendors selling books, good luck charm, images of the Buddhas, candle, gold leaf, incense stickers, prayer flag, streamer, minister umbrella, and flowers. Next, we're moving on to the gateway of Sherdagam Pagoda. There have 4 gateways, each one guardian by status of the meteorological guardian lions known as Chinas. They all have decorated walls, 15 tallest of the previous incarnation of Buddha. In recent years, 3 of them have been installed escalator or elevators. They have 4 small stupa, each oriented toward a different cardinal point. There are also 8 small shrines located on each of the 8 corners of the main stupa. A different image of Buddha is seen on each one, representing the 7 days of the week. The Wednesday is split into 2, one the morning and one for the evening. Next, we moving on to small pagoda around the base. The main building, the large golden stupa, was built on top of a hill, and it composed of several parts and levels rising from its octagonal base. The base serves as a pedestal to the actual pagoda and is a brick structure surrounded by many small pagodas. Moving on to terrace of the Sherdagam Pagoda. The lowest part of the actual pagoda is formed by 3 octagonal terraces that can only be visited by monks. From the terraces up to the top, all the elements are golden. Then comes the bell-shaped dome, ornamented with horizontal bands. And last but not least, the crown umbrella. The upper part is the point structure known as a spire. It consists of 7 concentric ribs on the lower part, the middle part in the shape of lotus petal, the upper part in the form of a teardrop, and the umbrella which crowns the whole structure. The crown umbrella on top is an invaluable piece with thousands of precious stones. Abundant rubies, sapphires, and diamonds are part of its decoration. The 76-carat diamond placed on the uppermost part is one of the biggest precious stones there. Hundreds of golden bells are also attached to the umbrella. For Isfa Chen Luang in Laos. Introduction. In the mid-16th century, King Settectriat moved his capital from Luang Prabang to Vientiane and ordered construction of Tien Luang. Work began in 1566. The stupa covered in gold leaf. It repeatedly was plundered by Burmese and Siamese and Chinese. In effect, Pa Chat Luang is covered in about 1,102 pounds of pure gold leaf. A Siamese invasion of 1828 led to massive destruction of the capital and virtual abandonment of the Tien Luang. The present structure is a French-directed construction from the 1930s made to replace an early bunch French construction of 90s, and it's based on the detailed drawing from the late 1860s by the talented French architect and explorer Louis Delectre. Next, we're moving on to architecture. The architecture of the building includes many references to law, culture, and identity, and so has become a symbol of law nationalism. The first level in 223 feet, which is 67 meters, by 226 feet, which is 68 meters. The second is 157 feet, which is 47 meters along each side. And the third level is 98 feet, which is 29 meters along each side. From ground to pinnacle, the Pa Chat Luang is 147.6 feet, which is 44 meters high. Only the pinnacle is covered in real gold. The remainder of the stupa is painted a gold color. Pa Chat Luang is a massive monument, over 147 feet tall. It has a unique pyramid-like shape and is surrounded at the base by 30 smaller spire-shaped stupas.